Hi everyone, welcome to our 51st video session here at Impaction. Today we're going to be speaking with Lidia from MAIA, and we're going to be hearing about their social impact in Guatemala. But before we begin, let's introduce what we do at Impaction really quickly and the purpose of video sessions in the first place. Impaction's mission is to make it easier for individuals to make a positive social change in their local communities. We believe that you don't need to start something new to make a difference. You can apply your skills in many different ways, and one way is through our platform. The purpose of our video sessions is to talk to people in our community and ultimately just collaborate with people based around 50 different countries around the world, help people solve challenges, and just get more people interested in social impact in the first place. So before we begin with the purpose of this discussion today, let's introduce all of the people that you're seeing on the call right now. I'll start with myself. I'm Shivani Choksi, and I'm the founder of Impaction. I'm based here in Chicago, Illinois. Dan, do you want to go next?
Yeah, hi. I'm Daniel Heiniger. I'm based here in Chicago. I'm with Impaction, doing outreach and engagement.
Thank you. Bora, you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Bora Lachi. I'm also with Impaction based in Dallas, Texas. I'm the Business Development Associate.
Thanks. Juan, you want to go next?
Sure. So my name is Juan Ramos. I'm also with Impaction. I'm a Business Development Associate, and I'm based here in Guatemala.
Awesome. Thanks. Kayla, you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Kayla. I am a student in Chicago, and I'm studying political science and hoping to make a impact in society by giving people opportunity to do creative expression.
Very cool. Bethany?
Hi, I'm Bethany. I'm based in Washington, D.C. in the U.S., and I currently work as a budget analyst for the federal government.
Awesome. Maria, do you want to go next?
Hi, my name is Maria, and I come from Warsaw, Poland. That's where I am right now. And I'm the founder of You Go the Earth, which is an organization that connects young people to opportunities for volunteering.
Thanks for joining. Syed, do you want to go next?
Yes, this is me, Syed Saudul Hassan from Pakistan, and I'm the vice chairman of the SAMS Pakistan. It's basically a training and consultation firm, and we are working as the social enterprise. And I used to be the member of such video sessions, and since long I haven't been joining, but today I'm here. Thanks you.
Thanks for joining. And Maritza, you want to go next?
Sure. My name is Maritza, and I work for MAIA, but I am in the fundraising side of the organization, and I am based in Antigua, Guatemala. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Lydia, I'm going to introduce you, and I'll ask you to introduce yourself after. Awesome. So today we're speaking to Lidia Oshi and the need for local empowerment that leads to transformational change with MAIA. So Lydia is the director of special projects at MAIA, and they work to create a generation of empowered leaders who have the knowledge and resources they need to lead choice-filled lives, break cycles of poverty, and ignite transformational change in their communities. Their holistic approach combines rigorous academics with culturally attuned, community-focused school environment that integrates daily mentorship sessions, monthly home visits, family engagement, and ongoing peer support. Their team of local leaders knows that if she can see it, she can be it. Lydia has earned a scholarship degree in natural resources management. She later earned another scholarship to study in Taiwan for 5 years, where she earned another degree in business administration. She speaks a total of 4 languages, and she's worked with a program of the Embassy of Taiwan teaching Mandarin as a second language in an elite school university in Guatemala City, and has started her work at MAIA in 2018 to be a part of their mission. Lydia, we're so excited to have you here today. Do you want to share any more information about you?
Just a little bit. I come from a beautiful village in Guatemala, And good morning, everyone, by the way. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. And yes, as I mentioned, I grew up in a village called San Jose Puaquil. It is like 2 hours away from Guatemala City. And just like most of our students' family situation, we live in the highlands. We speak, as we grow up, we speak Cachiquel, our native Mayan language. And well, this is also our traditional clothing. And well, basically that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Lydia. So we're going to first start the conversation with posing the question to our community members. So the first question is, what do you understand by the term transformational change? And anyone can unmute themselves and answer this question.
Yeah, so for me, transformational change is something that is kind of sustainable and forever. So it's a change of thought as well as something that really empowers all future generations. It's just it's a new path. So yeah, I think that's what I think of.
Thank you. Go ahead, Juan.
Yeah, so I think transformational change is profound change. So I think it goes through several layers of change before you can get to transformational change. But as Maria was saying, it's something that's long lasting, that has a deep impact, and that not only changes the way you act, but also the way you think and the way you perceive things.
Well said. Anyone else?
Yeah. Part of the transformational process that I feel is there's also a recognition of how you're perceived and how you're learning the perceptions that other people have, not just of you, but their perception of their world. And change happens when you recognize, for me, when you recognize how you show up and your impact on those around you. And then honoring, acknowledging how other people see you as well as see the world themselves.
Thank you.
Shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Transformation change, I do think that it is something, a journey to the betterment for different things, or for, we can say that, to have some more civilized way and bringing some positive change, which definitely have some greater impact to the lives of the people.
Okay, thank you. Great answers, you guys. So why don't we learn about what transformational change means to Lydia? Lydia, you want to start with your presentation and share your screen?
Thank you. Our organization is called MAIA, and we say her infinite impact. Okay, so the name MAIA is actually the name of one of the brightest stars in the night sky, and it's a symbol of knowledge. But actually, it's more than a name. It reflects our objective and our mission. And our mission is to empower young women, Mayan women, to become transformational leaders. And I really like sharing this picture because this is Catherine, and as just like our 188 students right now, she is in so many ways, she is ambitious, she's young, but this is just like the reality of a lot of Guatemalan young women and girls. She comes from low income family, and most of the families have like between 6 to 8 members, and we're driven by the question how far she can go. We can see she's bright, she has the capabilities, and but she lacks most of the times young women lacks of choice, like opportunities, choices and resources. So we call them girl pioneers because in so many ways they will be the first to go to school, to secondary school, the first to speak a third language or a second language, and the first to do so many other things that her mom, her grandma never dreamed of or never knew could do, because like there were so limited opportunities that they can never dare to dream about. So this is the girl pioneer. And once again, when we believe when young women have access to opportunities, their talents naturally flourish. And Guatemala has so many challenges. So this is Ishmukane, and she's proud to be Mayan, to be indigenous. But once again, like there is the talent, but it doesn't match with the opportunities. There are so limited opportunities that most of the students or most of the young women cannot have access to them. So some statistics. So Guatemala, unfortunately, has one of the worst gender gap in the hemisphere. Only 10% of indigenous Mayan girls graduate from high school in Guatemala. By age of 20, over 50% of indigenous girls have become mothers, and only 1% actually go to university. The four main goals of MAIA, it's her economic autonomy. So MAIA grads, what MAIA is doing, it's invest in education. So at the end, after they graduate, they should be able to at least have the lower wage in Guatemala, and that's around like $3,500 US dollars, to start her family in her own terms. By this we mean that our aim, or through the tools in education, she should start with her own family to become a mother after 25 years old. Her lifelong learning, we also invest and work hard so she can have at least 15 years of formal education, and also empowered to empower. And we hope and we want and we're sure that these students will be they will be the leaders of their communities, because they are setting the examples in their community, and also they will be working with this country in Guatemala, and also, why not, the world. So basically they also have this opportunity to empower the rest of the communities where they belong. So our model, when MAIA girl pioneers are able to match their talent and ambition, so we can see that learning opportunities and experiences happen. And so they start automatically setting examples and doing and achieving so many things. So I have 3 examples here, and I would like to talk a little bit about each of them. So for example, here we have the students, we have a lab, and they have access to right now they have classes, they have classes of science and biology and chemistry. And like when we grew up, just to give you a little bit of context, we never had this chance. So we want them to have the access to number one, knowledge, and but then also like giving them the resources. And in the middle, we have Esther in 2019. We got a prize, the Site Sustainability Prize, and Esther was the one who actually represented us, and she received the prize for being the best high school or secondary school in the Americas. So she flew all the way from Guatemala to Abu Dhabi. And this is something like, without this sort of opportunities, the work that MAIA does, it would be almost impossible to do, because first of all, the educational system of Guatemala, it's so poor. It doesn't reach all the communities of Guatemala, especially the rural areas. It doesn't have inclusion, because most of the schools do not take into consideration that we speak a native language. So at the beginning, it's hard for so many students to go to school because they are not able to communicate. So it's not like a ESL, it's not like a school designed for students whose native language is not Spanish. And also by the other picture, she actually won one prize for her project, and she designed it like it seems like the Eiffel Tower of France. But the nice thing about it is like it's her own creativity, and she also used recyclable materials. She used like matches to do this. So we can see that once you give the students these opportunities, they automatically flourish, and they become, their talents are being seen, and they are able to achieve so many things that without the opportunities could have never happened. So MAIA Impact School, the main project of MAIA, it's the Impact School that is designed, led, and run by the same gender and race team. Our team is 86% female, 82% indigenous, and 34% are local. And the nice thing about it right now is like we have around 35% of our staff are graduates from the program. So MAIA has been working in Guatemala for at least 12 years, but we opened our school in 2017. Before that, we have like a slightly different program. Right now, our first group is going to graduate in 2022. So our first group is only in 10th grade, like 10th graders right now. But we had a previous program before that is also that also aim education. And so some of these graduates from the previous program are already working with us. And I think this is also one of the biggest success of MAIA, because we see our previous, like our grads coming to work to MAIA and actually working in for the mission of MAIA. So MAIA wants to redefine school in Guatemala to integrating culture, academics, and communities, rigorous academics in 21st centuries, which are technology, English, a full team of mentors focused on supporting socio-emotional development and family engagement. So local leaders, as I mentioned a little bit before, so most of us are women, are from the local area, and not just that, it's most of us have walked the same path as our students. We have lived some of the hardships that our students live, but success in the process. So this is like something really different from most of the schools. We were able to set examples because we had this hardships, but we did it, and we are here, and we are going to continue with this work. And also family engagement. The families that we work with, they are more like allies. We consider the mother and the father equally important, and both of them are also equally invited to come and follow the progress of the students. And also, like, we work with them closely. Our family engagement program, as I mentioned as well, like we have mentors who do have like an individual session with our students, but also they go to these villages and visit the families and work with them. So it's not just a visit, it's actually more like, okay, let's see what are your difficulties, to have plans and to actually help the family. And the aim is, once again, like to have this student for the 6 years with MAIA, and to make sure she's going to graduate and to get the best and the most of MAIA. How one school is changing the landscape of Guatemala. We know that we don't know it all, and perhaps we will never do, but we know that through collaboration and also strategic partnerships, we're able to accomplish more. So, for example, here we work closely with NGO called Hukoni. A lot of the social, emotional work that we do, we learn it with them. So they have been helping us to develop curriculums. And also, like at the beginning, literacy, it's a big issue for us, once again, because like our levels of analysis and like vocabulary of Spanish, sometimes it's not basics. So like, for example, this organization Contextos has been helping us through workshops to our educators and also giving us a lot of material so we can work and implement the program successfully. And okay, so here we also see like Syed, that is from Abu Dhabi, and we work with Child Aid, we work with also like Girl Rising. So we have these partnerships who, once again, like are helping us, but this is going from sometimes from both ways, because we are seeing also like we have the opportunity to collaborate in as teams. So we have another circle here. We work, especially through this COVID pandemic crisis. We've been working for organizations like a Women's Justice Initiative. We have worked also with Wukuka Walk, Wings, and MAIA, trying to get the information to the communities through radio station in native language, because unfortunately the government did not do this at the beginning of the crisis. And if we, at least 50% of the population is Mayan, indigenous, so all of these people were being left out of this informational system. And so we saw the need to act. And so we've been joining efforts to make sure, or to get this information to the communities, to the indigenous communities. And so as we see it, if we see, sometimes we see, or it can be asked like, but the students are not that many. But when we see the whole picture, if she has the means and the tools to empower herself, then she would empower her family, the community, and where we don't know how far she can go, but her infinite impact is going to be seen in a local area, but also it can be much bigger than that, because we're hoping and we want these students to become leaders of Guatemala and make critical choices, and that would impact positively Guatemala, their families, their communities, and wherever they work. Some other stories that I'm really pleased to share. We see here, this is Jessica. Jessica presented this year, 2020. The project that we did with Syed Sustainability Prize was to create and to implement an organic garden. So this year, Jessica traveled to Abu Dhabi, and she actually was invited to present, and her presentation was in English. So we see this 4-year journey of Jessica, and now she's able to communicate by herself in English. She traveled, most of them had never been able to travel to Guatemala City, but now you've seen them being able to travel across at the other side of the world, and to bring her voice. And I think this is the most important thing, because most of the times we are their voices because they cannot speak English, but now they are able, and they have the opportunity to bring their voice and share their voice, their opinions with the rest of the world. And this is the story of Claudia. Through through this experience of last year, so Claudia, she applied this year for, it was like a competition. It was with an organization called Vital Voices, and the program is called She Leads. And she applied with her project as a sustainable family garden, and she won the first prize. And this is a seed for her to start her project at her community. So she's working with 7 or 10 families in her community. And this project, it's so important right now, especially of the crisis. So just the fact that they are able to see the needs and have these ideas and the willingness to work for the community, it's giving us so many like green lights that this is what Guatemala needs, and we are taking already steps for making these changes at the local base, at the local scale, but they eventually are able to progress and to become bigger. So we're not the problem, we're the solution. See our talent, believe in our capacity, create opportunities. So this is what we ask. A lot of the times we're blamed because like the Mayan communities are seen as to be the problem, and especially women, that we are only staying at home and we are not like bringing money sometimes. But we're not getting the full picture of this. It's not like, it's not our fault. 2, we're capable, we have the capacity to do it, but we don't have the opportunity. So we see this mismatch, and so that's what we ask for. Like, we are not the problem, we are the solution. And thank you.
Wow, thank you, Lydia. That was absolutely amazing. I know that our community has some questions, so we're gonna open it up with Juan.
Okay.
Hi, Lydia. Very, very inspiring to hear about what MAIA is doing. I had heard about you, about the organization before, and I had done several projects in Universidad del Valle in Solola, which is right across, really close to the school, but I've never been able to go inside and see it. So yeah, I just wanted to understand a bit better what your current challenges are. So with COVID, how has that affected your annual budget or the future projects that you were hoping to implement? And also what opportunities you see with COVID? Like, what has it brought up to the table that before wasn't in the spotlight and now is really important?
Okay, thank you, Juana. Oh, okay, so some of the challenges that we have had is like, in general, Guatemala, it's not capable, it does not have the infrastructure to help the families. So one of the first thing that we've seen is like a lot of the families have lost their jobs. I would say like 50%, and their primary income is agriculture. So with the lockdown that happened, a lot of them actually lost income or the opportunity just to bring their products to the local markets. So we see and we heard from the families that they are in, if we have to put them in colors, a lot of them are in yellow and some of them are in red. So this affects because, so we had a protocol just right before the first case. So we were almost ready with the plan in case COVID hit Guatemala. So the first thing that we did was to send the portfolios, so like paper portfolios for the students to work. So the first week we had this logistic already implemented, and we delivered the portfolio. And we have around 45 communities. So we send these materials and also hygiene kits. So like the first week, like most of the gel soap, they were so expensive or could not be found. So we send masks face masks to our students, and we send like the most important things for them to start with quarantine. So we send this kits and study materials and like a hygiene kits to them. In terms of but one of the hardest was like that the government hasn't been able to give us clear information, like what to do or protocols. So basically we're using our own protocols, and one of the fear that we have right now is if the government asks us to come back, but we see that most of the we see that, for example, like the system of transportation system buses, it's not able to follow like the rules that they are suggesting. So this is like one of our biggest concern. If they come here to school, we see that the school it's a very open space, so we have the capacity to have small groups. But the transportation is one of the things that it's kind of we're worrying about the transportation issue. Regarding budgeting, I think we were able to, we had some projects that we've been working on, but our team, such Maritza in this side, they've been working to to edit or to ask for changes in some of the, in the budget, like to assign some budget to the project that were not taken into consideration before. For example, before this, we had no need to communicate or to give sessions online, but through the efficiency of our team, we were able to assign budget, and we were also able to get funding for tablets and for internet. So right now, 75% of our students have already a tablet and internet at home. So classes started online after the first month. So we were 1 month with just paper material, but then right now we are working on a combination of a portfolio and also like online classes. So our students, our educators have also had the opportunity and the need for workshops on using technology, especially for giving classes online, because they are slightly different. And we see a lot of opportunities as well, because this COVID has brought us as organization to work more together, and also work this, like we've been sending and making videos online and sharing them through Facebook. We have also a collaboration with Guatemala.com in sharing videos for the communities. Also like most of them are in Cachiquel, so we're hoping to reach like the communities that are far away. And even though sometimes they don't have, not everyone has a cell phone or a computer, but who do have a cell phone, they should have WhatsApp. And so this recommendations are reaching the people through WhatsApp or Facebook that are actually quite important and relevant in the communities. And also, like one of the things that we've been doing, and I'm very happy for this particular project, is that we were also able to implement workshops for mothers, especially for organic products, for organic garden. So we're working with 16 different plants, and the aim is to make sure they have something to eat, but also to have an emphasis on vitamin A, iron, and also folic acid, that is going to help especially the students to have a good diet. And also we're seeing through this, it's a workshop of 6 sessions. So we have small family sessions that come here. And right now I can say that we have already 45 gardens in home, and they already produce like the food, radishes. I don't know the name of this herb in English, but yerba blanca, yerba mora. So they have this chipiling. So these are really, really high on in vitamins. So we are seeing that they are already producing. So we're giving seeds. And but basically this is based on the needs of the families and on the potential solutions that could be helping them throughout this crisis. And yes, but if I would say like we still need 25%, or we still need to reach and to raise funds for this 25% of our students who do not have tablets yet, and who we are not able to, we haven't reached through internet yet.
Perfect. I think I'll be able to send you some links and some contacts that I have specifically if you need help with agriculture, especially in Solola. I know there's several initiatives. They're very interesting, like Huertos para Todos, which is working in San Marcos, which is a very interesting initiative from communities that I have contacts with that I can send you. But no, I think it's very interesting how quickly you guys have been able to adapt and react to the situation, which in Guatemala does not happen as quickly and as efficiently the way you guys have been able to do it.
Thank you. We're happy for this too.
Thank you, Juan. I want to open up Maria. Do you have an idea?
Yeah. I wanted to just send a link through. There's this thing called TechSoup, and they basically allow all good organizations, schools around the world to get access to technology. And I just sent it. And maybe, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they'd be a great organization to reach out to for the 25% that you're looking for the technology.
Thank you, Maria.
Any additional community questions or thoughts?
Actually, I do have one more question. Yeah. So, first of all, incredible. I love the entire initiative and the presentation. I do have some kind of questions for your dreams for how you want like MAIA to grow and help in other regions in Guatemala. Do you have like a certain kind of milestone where you decide to build like maybe a second school or like expand your school? And do you, you also said that there's only like 34% local. So then do all the other girls come from all the other parts of Guatemala, and then you allow them to do like a boarding stay?
Okay, yes. Yes, sorry, maybe I didn't say it right, but 34% are like staff that are local, but our students are all from the same area. Yes, so we're not a boarding school. Yes, but like the staff, yes, only 34% are like from around the area. Some of them are from farther, like Guate City, and from other from other communities of Guatemala. And yes, about the first question, if we think about like opening a new school, we have been asked this a lot, but for example, I think it's easier for us. We see MAIA to be like this incubator of opportunities, but also sharing knowledge. So we are not like holding this for just for us. Actually, we work a lot with other organizations, like we work a lot with, even we have tried to find, and we have done workshops working with the public schools, especially in math. So right now we have like a small, like 5 NGOs from different areas of Guatemala called the district. And the aim of the district is to raise the level of math for these 5 schools. And through this, we're also using technology and workshops. So we have also like the MAP platform that actually helps to measure and to monitor like the progress in math and where are the difficulties for a student. It's a very nice platform. So also using this platform not to compare or to have not to compare with other schools, but more like to how we can help each other. Like for example, we can see data and see, okay, what are you doing best? So let's try to work this together. So it's more like initiatives like this. We're also working with another school in Chahul. This is like 5 hours away from where we're based, and we're helping them to build or to create their school. So one thing that I think it's very hard to say just to start another school, because like right now we see that the MAIA is designed for indigenous girls who speak Caxiquel. But then if we move to another community, it's going to be an indigenous community that speaks another Mayan language. And if we move to another community, it's perhaps not Mayan community. So I think one thing that is really important is to know the need of the community. And as I also mentioned, the local talent is very important, because we can have ideas, but it's really important for us, so far what we've seen, that local community take leadership of this. One thing, it's easier because like you work with the local, for example, here we work with the majors, so they know us, and it's so much easier rather than if someone else comes. So it's going to work like this. Like if you have if people know you, and once again, if they see their teachers, their educators doing it, it's easier for the students to make it happen as well.
Okay, amazing. Okay, I understand.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah.
I have a question. So I was wondering, how do you motivate like yourself and also motivate all the students when sometimes like learning, you know, maybe people don't necessarily know what they're good at or what they want to do or what's even possible. If there's like a lot of limitations, and the reason why I'm curious about this is because I'm mentoring students in a class for photography, and they are currently in public housing. They don't have a lot of resources. They don't have access to a camera besides in this class. And so they oftentimes feel like they can't necessarily do anything with photography or storytelling or get anywhere. So I was wondering like how you encourage the students to really think big, and how, like, what are the avenues for showing them like, oh, this is possible, you can get here, type of thing.
Yes, thank you, Kyla. I think, okay, so academics for us, it's only 50% of what MAIA does, but then like the other 50%, it's the social, emotional program that works with like one-to-one based and families. So this mentors, we have 6-7 competencies in MAIA. Like we have critical thinking, innovation, vocal empowerment. We also have strategic network and collaboration, and we also have negotiation and excellence. So through this, we've been able to work. It's a process. I won't say like it's easier, because yes, the process. But for example, one of the first things that the mentors would do with students is to have like, okay, let's plan, what do you want for your life? Like to start sessions with, okay, what's your goal for life? So, and this is something that they visit constantly to one-to-one session. So, and I feel like this is a huge success for MAIA, because we are able to have like a 98% retention rate, and because of the program, because they have someone to trust, that they actually trust and see as an example. So it's not like when they have some difficulties or issues, and this is something that you don't have, unfortunately, you don't have, like, at least in the public system in Guatemala, it's like you're in your own, like whether or not you make or you pass your class, I mean, it's your fault. It's not like it's someone else's fault, it's actually your fault. But in this, if something is happening with the students, it's whether she's not eating or she's not coming to school, there is someone that she trusts and she goes to. And I think this is helping because she feels like she's being cared for and that she's important. And so this helps so much. If she's not performing well in math, so that the mentor, we're doing this through the mentor, like trying to see a little bit deeper what's happening. And you can see that in the next class, she's doing slightly better and she's continue progressing. This is one thing, and the other thing is like since the selection process, we see a lot of interest. So they are every year we only have a spot for 50 students, and the selection process we interview them, and most of the students, they have to meet a certain criteria. But the one criteria that it's very important, that it's their determination and their willingness to come to school. And they are actually school around 8 hours. So it's quite rigorous for them. But we also work with the family. So I feel like this is like a combination. So we're not just working one-to-one, but we're trying to help the family, so the family pushes them. We're working with the students, and the students are also like helping them. And also like the educators are constantly like asking them to do their best. So I think it's a very positive environment, and it's a safe environment that helps them just to be natural and to love. And most of them say that they love to be in school. So I hope I can answer. It's actually a very hard question, but I hope this helps.
Thank you.
We have time for 2 more questions. I'm going to take one of them. What does success look like for you, Lidia?
Personally or
For MAIA.
MAIA. Yes, like I feel like success it's pretty much all the positive things or the things that are evidence a change. We see success, I would say, every day. Like we see success when this 188 students show up at class at 7 and they go right to the library. They are not just hanging out and just talking, they go right away to the library. We see success because they are using the platform to continue their English education. They are asking questions. They are raising their voices. We see success right now. One of the things that I think this is one of the best evidence for me. We were asked to help some communities and identify like the families that were in extreme poverty. And we decided to work with, in collaboration with our students. So we gave them like a criteria how we can pick these families. And so they came up with a list of 240 families and that are not their own families. So they went and found the families according to the criteria who would need the most of this, the food. It's like a basket from an organization. So we see success like they making this wise and critical choices of, they were not able to give these baskets to all the families, but the most in need. And so we see this like this change of mind, of perception, that breaking the cycles of corruption that most of the people would just try to benefit like relatives. But they are not doing that. In fact, they're actually being very strict with the criteria. And so this is like success for us, being able to communicate and raise their voices when there's a problem, when there's something that's not working. And so yes, that's basically success for us.
And I love how you didn't specify specific metrics, because this is social impact, this is education, this is about impact on the individual case-by-case basis. So it's a different model, and it's more about the individual impact that you can make within each girl's lives. So that's fantastic. Thank you. We have time for one more question before we wrap up.
I can go if no one else
Go for it.
has something.
Oh, sorry, Maria.
I mean, it's also can wait. But I was just curious if you all had faced any sort of resistance, either from a more like personal community level or governmental kind of level, to this sort of girls' education focus, and if so, how you kind of dealt with that. I mean, it's a big question, but if you just have some maybe tips for other people working in this field.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would say a lot. I'm just having a hard time to think or to see what to share. But we see resistance like from we're mainly women, like in the leadership positions. So sometimes it's hard to work with a male because it's not normal for Guatemala to be doing this huge work and getting this incredible results. We also see we would like to have more like a funding from Guatemala, from local from local Guatemala. But we also, one of the biggest difficulties, it's like it seems that we're divided, and we need to find a way how to break this invisible wall that has us divided for. This is nothing new. It's been going on for centuries. So yes, but we see that as a nation, we are not seen as one nation, but it's more like a native and non-native. So we need definitely, like, racism is one big issue here as well. So we are working on this. Like for example, Maritza, it's in the team that is working very hard to find a strategy to work more in as a nation rather than education. It's it's somebody else's business, like just to leave it to the government. But also we need we definitely need also the collaboration of the government, because the MAIA, we would like every school in Guatemala, or every school in Guatemala should be like this. Like every kid should have a computer, internet, and basics. So this, unfortunately, this is like an exception. It's not the rule, but this should be the rule and not the exception. So this is so hard as well, because this is corruption, but we need to find also a way to do this. And once again, we believe that if we work in collaboration, it's easier to make this happen rather than just MAIA. But yeah, so like those are some of the biggest challenges that we have.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm sorry we have to wrap up for today. This is just an amazing session. And as a cherry on top, Juan just informed me that on December 23rd, 1994, the United Nations General Assembly decided in its resolution 49-214 that the International Day of the World's Indigenous People shall be observed on August 9th every year. And today is August 9th. So that's awesome. It's really great, and it's just a great cherry on top of an amazing video set.
Hello guys.
Hi, Emmanuel. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice. So I'm Emmanuel from Malawi. I just came across this meeting on the internet and I decided to join. So in Malawi, I ran a school for the less children coming from less income families. So I have a girls club. It is called Became a Girl Club. So we help like 50 girls enroll into school. And I'm very, very intrigued by what MAIA is doing in Guatemala, because it is similar to what we're doing. So what we do is, like here, many girls, they have a problem. They lack confidence in themselves. Like if they come from poor families. So we also train them in leadership and entrepreneurial skills. Yeah, so I'm really interested in what MAIA is doing. I think I can get in touch with them, because we also want to teach these girls like coding, skills like coding, yeah, internet, and also financial literacy skills, so that as they get their education, we integrate the traditional schooling like math, physics, agriculture, and these 21st century skills. So I'm really interested in what MAIA is doing, and I've been encouraged. Yeah. So I think I should get in touch with Lidia to gain more what they are doing, so I can learn some things from them. Yeah, and in this COVID pandemic, many girls are being married off. So I think, yeah, like in one district in Malawi, there has been 5,000 pregnancies which have been registered. And this is very worrying when it comes to efforts by organizations which are trying to do more in girls' education. This is it's something which is getting back the effort. So I want to learn more from organizations outside on how we can step in to mitigate such things.
Will do. Thank you, Emmanuel. And we do have to wrap up. I'm sorry, we're a little over time, but we'll be sure to connect you both after this email or after this video session. So, but thank you. That was really good, and I'm glad that you guys are going to be connecting afterwards.
That would be good. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what we're going to be doing is just wrapping up now. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you, Lidia, for an amazing video session. And like I said, we'll be connecting you. Be sure to, sign up for our newsletter on our website to stay updated with more events like this in the future and to connect with each other and be a part of our community. But thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.
Okay.